welcome to your number one news source for all that nerdish on Pornhub, the Creatia Conversation. I am your host, the patron saint of podcasting, the Warden Matt Ritter, and I am here with the other half of the DP boys. He is the Will Gray, a chef by trade, a mark by choice, purveyor of botch spots and chair shots, and Rivet City Radio. What's going on, Will?
Mateo, it's always fun. I love when our paths cross. We try to podcast. We usually get at least once a week together some way. We usually fight to make it happen. So I'm glad that I'm starting my week here with you. Got some fun stuff to talk about, some exciting stuff going on. So how are you?
I'm good. I tried to make it 2 times, but somebody had to go do things for the holidays and see family on Saturday instead of talking about Survivor Series with me. So how were your holidays? How'd it go?
They were good. Not great. They were good. Got to spend
me. They couldn't be great.
Yeah, it didn't work out. I got to spend a lot of time. I got to see my family, which is always nice. The older sister showed up about 30 minutes before I walked out of the door, so that was about the perfect amount of time I could spend with her in one setting. And then spent the weekend abroad visiting family and such, and it was a ton of fun. It's always hectic when you spend that time on the road, especially during holiday seasons because of traffic and shit. Not a big fan of traffic at all. I'm a professional passenger princess in every way possible. So, and I still get anxious when I'm riding in a car.
A lot of people do. My wife is too. She's constantly freaking out, and I'm like, listen, I've been driving you for how long? I've never been in an accident in the car with you. You just need to relax over there and just let me drive. I've been driving every time I drive, everywhere we go for as long as we're driving. It's cool. Stop tensing up. Stop grabbing the fucking oh shit handle above the window or putting your hands out like this because you don't think I'm stopping because you're not pushing the brake, whatever the deal is. But I had a good holiday. We did Thanksgiving with her family Thursday. We did Thanksgiving with my family Friday. John came out with Caroline. They stayed Thursday night and Friday night. And then we watched Survivor Series, had some pizza, and my buddy Eric came over, did that on Saturday. And then yesterday I got the rest of the frame built for the shower. So now a little bit of plumbing, a little bit of plywood, and the tub can go in and the concrete board can go up and we can tile and we're almost done. A little bit of drywall on the ceiling, but yeah, the frame's done. So I'm happy with that.
Oh yeah, that's a big step. And again, I always say this, both in public and private, it blows my mind that you're doing all this because up until I bought my first house, I wasn't even a righty-tighty, lefty-loosey person. I wasn't sure what end of the hammer to use. So to see somebody, because I've gotten pretty handy now, but to see somebody who's going into their bathroom and whole ass framing shit out, you're like the property bros.
To be fair, me and my dad are doing it. And while my confidence has grown, there's a lot of stuff you can just be like, hey, go do this and I can take care of it now. It has been a long process of me getting to the point of even just being able to properly measure a fucking stud and cut it in the right spot and come back down with holes drilled and everything in it and be like, all right, this is good. This can go in so. But no, we've done a lot of work on this house, the other house, growing up. He was constantly he does everything himself. He doesn't pay anyone to do anything. So that meant that, when bricks needed to be hauled and blah, 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 all that, I was there. That's so I've been helping him with stuff forever. So, you've been watching any movies, knocking anything off a list, maybe?
Yeah, but it's not anything on your list. And you're gonna be like, God damn it, Will. This dropped in my lap Thursday or Wednesday, but it's a show called Julia, and it's about Julia Childs filming
Makes
The
sense.
French Chef. And I started at episode 1, season 1, and now I'm completely caught up with where the show is on TV. I guess it's on Max or Apple TV, something like that. But it's the whole process of her after she wrote the first cookbook, while she's writing the second book, and she goes about funding her own television show out of pure boredom. And there's so much about it because I knew who she was, but the stuff that I'm learning, the intricacies of her life and her relationship with Paul, her husband, and her friends around her, this is shit that I didn't learn. You know, I knew who Julia was because of the technique and the way she presented cooking and how she was one of the first celebrity chefs, if not the first celebrity chef. So now looking back at it, I'm like, they didn't teach me any of this shit. So it's cool to see it from that perspective. I'm hyped. I'm caught up now, so I'm going to go back to watching some movies. I want to watch some scary movies I haven't seen, so I'm probably going to head back to your list and start knocking out some more of the horror that I haven't seen that's on your list because I haven't seen Trick or Treat yet. And all of the Hellraiser movies, I think I'm up to 3, or I've seen 1, 2, and 3. I'm up to 4 now. So I'll probably watch that at some point in the next day or two. Like, just start pounding out some more horror that I haven't seen. What about you?
Well, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. And there's more than just horror on that list that I made for you. Actually, New Mutants, which is like a comic book, it's supposed to kind of be horror-esque, and it is on there. And I watched that with John and Caroline the other night because they hadn't seen it, and I was like, I actually really like this one because we were looking at a bunch of shit. I've also started a 12 Days of Christmas horror movie thing, kind of like the 31 and 31 that I did that was proposed from a Facebook group. So come December 1st, I have to watch, and I don't know if it specifically has to be, but I'm gonna make it 12 Christmas related horror movies. I'm pretty sure I've got enough, or I can find enough, even though I might have to rewatch Jack Frost, even though I just watched it after we did the trailers for Getting Off. But so yeah, I got that going on. A lot of Final Fantasy 16. While you and I were chatting beforehand about stuff, I was trying to set up PS remote play on my tablet for reasons. As well. And then a little bit of Mortal Kombat 1. No Diablo. John was here, and John's the person I play it with. So since he didn't have his Xbox, we can't play it on the same TV together. That got held off over the weekend. But yeah, other than that, it's really been it for me.
Nice. Seems eventful.
It does. It's been a busy weekend. Kate's got the next 3 days off, so I know she's happy about that. I want to thank everyone for joining us, whether you are joining us over at youtube.com/CreatiaWorld. I'm going to do this one out of order, where it is free to like, to subscribe, to comment. Will, what does that do?
It boosts the algorithm and helps find new listeners.
It does. And we need new listeners. Why, Will? What am I?
It's because you're a whore, Matt.
I am a whore. I'm a whore for your views. I'm a whore for your listens. I'm a whore for your likes. I'm a whore for you, ladies and gentlemen. A whore to entertain you at will. But one thing about a whore, they like to get paid. So if you subscribe, if you comment, if you share around, get us views. We get sponsors. Sponsors help get us paid, help us fund what we're doing and bringing content to you so we can bring more fun content to you and have a blast doing it. Also, flick your bean while I'm being a whore, and that notification bell up top. Click that. Get notified every time we go live Monday through Friday for the Creatia Conversation. Saturdays at 11 p.m. Central, midnight Eastern for Smacking It Raw, and every other Sunday, including next, or I guess technically this upcoming Sunday, for Getting Off. You guys can also check us out at twitch.tv/CreatiaWorld. Again, we were talking about like supporting us, like whores like to get paid. You guys can subscribe, and it wouldn't even, like, you can pay us and it wouldn't even cost you anything. If you have Amazon Prime, because it's the holiday season, you're already ordering a shit ton of stuff on Amazon. If you got Amazon Prime, you've got Prime Gaming. You link that to your Twitch account, you get a free sub every month that you can give to us. It costs you nothing. The money comes from Amazon. You're taking it out of Jeff Bezos' pocket, so you're getting a little back from him. You're giving it to us, helping support us, show us a little love, and we fucking appreciate it. So whether it's Rivet City Radio, I'm eventually one day going to learn which way to point at the fucking camera, whether it is Creatia World or Sheely Showcase or any of your favorite content creators, make sure you use that sub for somebody. Don't let it go to waste. You guys can also watch us at my favorite place, pornhub.com/model/Creatia World. It is free to do all that stuff. We also have exclusive watch alongs over there of porn parodies. I'd love to do more. We had an issue with the last one and getting it cleared for whatever reason. So it's something that's on the list. If you guys want to see more of that, let me know. We'll figure it out. And Facebook.com/Creatia World. You guys could also be watching us live there as well. So go check that out. Everything Creatia World is there. With all that being said, I think it is newsy time. I got this one specifically for you, Will, as I was looking at things. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom director wanted Ganondorf wanted a Ganondorf men and women would fall for. The director of Tears of the Kingdom wanted a sexy take on the villain. Do you feel like they delivered that?
When I played through the game, however beautiful it was, I wasn't thinking, man, this game is beautiful because of how hot Ganondorf was. There are some really thick ass characters for no reason, by the way. Rule 34 definitely exists for Tears of the Kingdom, but Ganon wouldn't have been the first person I thought of in that arena, I guess.
Well, when Legends of Zelda or The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom released earlier this year, players were introduced to a radical new take on Ganondorf. The beloved villain did not appear in Breath of the Wild, and when he showed up in the sequel, it was a much different form than players had previously seen. Instead of creating something close to his appearance in Ocarina of Time, the developers took a different approach, one that the Zelda fandom quickly dubbed Sexy Ganondorf. In a new interview with Nintendo Dream, translated by Nintendo Everything, director Hadamaro Fujibayashi. We're going to go with Fujibayashi. I think that sounds right. Discuss the designer's approach. The designer didn't simply make him look violent. They managed to fill my wish of making him look overwhelmingly evil while also being handsome enough that both men and women would fall for him. We put a lot of thought into choosing his clothes and accessories, keeping in mind that Ganondorf himself should have a strong sense of beauty and good taste. Fujibayashi told Nintendo Dream, "We thought that he would probably be a character who paid a lot of attention to his appearance, demonstrating his dignity and intelligence as a king. In designing him with that in mind, we were meticulous with his face, body, all the way down to his fingertips, making him come off as robust and sexy at the same time." So you didn't get the sexy vibes, huh?
This is one of those times, Matt, where I get to say my favorite phrase. I don't yuck any yums, man. Like, do you? There's a very short list of yums I'll yuck. Okay. Playing through this game again, of all the characters that were not only personified to be robust and sexy, Ganon wasn't at the top of the list. They literally, like, Zelda is walking around scantily clad through 2/3 of the game, unnecessarily being like a sex goddess that's beaming in and out of light portals and shit. But they're like, Ganon was the thick and robust one.
Well, maybe the idea was that they thought Zelda was already a sex symbol, and now they're trying to move Ganondorf in that direction. Maybe that it wasn't worth noticing because I'm sure people have been masturbating to the idea of Zelda for generations now, and now we wanted, a Ganondorf that could appeal to both sexes.
again, I don't yuck any yums. People will be into weird shit. I have friends that were furries. Like, I've seen people that want to fuck foxes and stuff. So it doesn't surprise me that people would, fuck the doctor of leader of the dead, the Dark King or whatever the fuck he's called in this one, Ganon. It doesn't surprise me that people would want to do that. Rule 34, bro.
Rule 34. I saw that and I was like, Will's going to be on. I'm going to talk about sexy, thick Ganondorf today. That is a post-holiday conversation we have to have. And Travis seemed to enjoy it. Tommy's over here. I've never even thought about doing that to Zelda. Well, now you are.
I'm going to send you some links, Tommy. You will.
Links.
You get what I did there? Yep.
Ganondorf got a tight ebony Gerudo bussy. Okay. You know what else Will loves, ladies and gentlemen? Will loves South Park. If you've checked out, well, I maybe Allison, because she's the one that does all the graphics, but I'm sure Will's on the same page. But if you checked out anything from Creatia Conversation, from Botch Spots and Share Shots, you know that I even have my own South Park avatar for when I come on the show. And we have some South Park Snow Day gameplay trailer to share with you today.
Ooh. Did you play the last big South Park
you ready
game?
to come play another game? Okay, new kid, we have all new rules this time.
You're muted.
Now you can play alone or with 3 of your closest friends. Unless you don't have any friends, then you can just join matchmaking and play with randos. Now listen, Clyde has information that the elves are preparing to launch a massive attack on our kingdom. They've been spotted advancing their forces near Stark's Pond.
I'm
We have
muted.
to take them out
Not anymore.
before they kill us out.
Weird.
Good luck.
Yeah, no, I played Fractured Butthole, and I played.
Get him, new kid. They're attacking into a swarm. Show no mercy, new kid.
I played the last
can't keep running
RPG
into
that came
arrows and
out,
stay alive,
and it was a
dumbass.
lot of fun. DJ Cartman.
Okay, very nice, guys. I know you're hiding something, pal, and we're gonna find out what it is. Weapons are
It is a little dry.
This game's also about using cards. You
It's a
got
good-
fart escape.
it's got a lot of
blast
protein in
yes. Try it out. You've been using that fart escape a lot, so be careful with your code. Hey, player 2, you died again? Well, you're just the best little healer, aren't you? You're making a mistake, Cartman. Are you denying that you were gearing up your entire army to attack our fucking base? Says who? Says Clyde. And do you always trust what Clyde says? Hell no, Clyde's a total dumbass.
You're all acting crazy.
Got weapons here.
It's the apocalypse.
Prepare
They
to
were
die.
both
Kick that
great.
fucking elf
And
ass.
I'm excited for this.
Good luck trying to ruin this game. I'm sure you'll manage.
These characters aren't designed to exist in a 3D base. The reason I'm excited for this is like, I'm sure everyone did, but like, we grew up, playing in the snow here in Illinois. When we were kids, especially, I feel like it doesn't seem as big now because we're taller and everything seems smaller in the world. But like the snow hills and the piles from them plowing the parking lots at school and shit used to be huge. And we'd wrestle on the snow hills and snowball fights and all sorts of shit. I remember somebody doing a swanton bomb off of a snow hill onto me once. All sorts of fun shit. So like, I get to relive that as some of my favorite characters in South Park, despite whether the characters are designed to exist in a 3D space or not. Like Travis said, both Stick of Truth and Fractured Butthole were fun as shit, and this looks really cool too.
I like Stick of Truth. I'm from the American South. I've literally, I took the joke out of my mouth. I was going to say the most snow I've ever seen was in my 20s, and it was a totally different kind. But I've never in my life seen. I've been sledding one time in my entire life that I've had enough snow in the state of Tennessee to sled on.
Now, as an adult, I hate the snow, and it snowed yesterday. So like, there's that. But like, I don't hate enjoying snow on my PlayStation where I don't have to be in it and feel the cold and all that bullshit. So
Yes.
that's a plus two. I think it was Danny, if I remember correctly.
I like how Travis is like going back in it, and he's like, "I want to figure this out. Let's go back and find video footage now. of Matt backyard wrestling in the snow."
Because he also double foot stomped me on in the crotch, and then after I recovered, I picked him up and threw him into a batting cage. So it was okay. Shit happened.
That sound definitely would qualify as a thing, Mateo.
Yeah. Welcome to Isomania. Where do I want to go next? So I'm not a huge fan of horror games. However, I did enjoy playing Friday the 13th. I wish there was more to it than they did Evil Dead and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. All these things kind of the same ilk. But before all of that was Dead by Daylight. And Dead by Daylight has really been servicing fans with all this horror DLC where you can play as Freddy, you can play as Michael, so on and so forth, in that same kind of like one player's a killer, other players are survivors sort of thing. And we have information on the next, and even a little bit of trailer to watch, installment of Dead by Daylight.
Bless you.
Excuse me. Which is going to be Chucky. Which obviously with the Chucky TV series and all the popularity behind it, everyone's a big fan, so it's not surprising they dipped into that. But Behavior Interactive gave us a brief snippet earlier of what to expect next week with Chucky joining Dead by Daylight. Now the developer has released a new trailer spotlighting Chucky's unique abilities, and much like his reveal trailer, this trailer comes complete with that cheesy 80s toy commercial feel before transitioning into Chucky causing mayhem. The trailer demonstrates Chucky's playtime's overpower, which grants him the ability to enter hidey ho mode at any time. In this mode, he is undetectable and generates map-wide footprints that can disorient survivors with sounds and footprints coming from multiple directions. While in hidey ho mode, Chucky has access to his slice and dice ability, allowing him to rush survivors before leaping forwards and performing an attack. He can also use his scamper ability while in this mode, allowing him to easily jump through windows and under downed pallets. As for perks, Chucky has 3. Hex, 2 can play, that allow you to blind and stun survivors who try to blind or stun Chucky. Friends Till the End works with the Obsession, revealing them when you hook the other survivors that aren't the Obsession, and batteries included, which gives Chucky a 5% boost when near a completed generator. Chucky arrives tomorrow for Dead by Daylight on PS5, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch, and PC via Steam, and the Epic Game Store and the Windows Store. Enough talking. Let's check this out.
I'm a little bit of a pop quiz for you, Mateo. Do you remember when we did the episode of Getting Offed and it was the movies that scared the hell out of us or
Here
whatever?
and ready to play.
Yes.
Remember the one series that I said from my childhood that absolutely traumatized me, and because of that I've had no interest in it since?
His name is Charles Lee Ray, Chucky to his friends, and he's
I'm going to fix that.
always on the lookout for desperate survivors. Stay low and keep them guessing. Then attack with terrifying speed. Slice, dice, until it's nighty-night. Where does she think she's going in such a hurry?
I don't have time for this shit. Come here.
That pallet won't protect her. This good guy can duck right under it. Need a boost? That finished generator will give you the speed you need to finish the job. And what about this one?
I just want to play.
Wait, is that blood?
Can I get some assistance here?
And since she's not the obsession, hooking her will leave the obsession exposed. Does that pesky survivor think they can surprise you? Surprise them instead with a taste of their own medicine.
I will fucking kill you.
The good guy comes with 3 thrilling perks. So what are you waiting for? Get ready to play with your new best friend till the end. Each sold separately, batteries included.
You know, I have Dead by Daylight too, and I might have to dust that off because that looked fun as fuck.
It's in my PlayStation library because I have the PlayStation Plus free games or whatever, and it was one of our free games at some point. I remember playing through it. I didn't buy any of the DLC or add-ons, but that legitimately looks like fun. So
it does. I forgot one of the things I wanted to open up and talk to you about. So obviously, if you guys have any sort of knowledge about professional wrestling in any way, shape, or form, there's been a lot of talk about the return of R-Truth, Randall Orton, and also CM Punk to WWE at Survivor Series. And I was told I have to make sure that Randy gets the proper respect repeatedly from Katie. So I'm making sure that I'm putting that in there. CM Punk obviously being the bigger one after his hiatus and all of that. And, you know, we said our piece. You know, I may or may not be on Get Show, so I can actually find some people to gush over CM Punk with as fans. There's a lot of negativity. There's a lot of positivity. I don't want to talk about any of that. I want to talk about something that Will sends me a lot of, and that is Ryback. Will is constantly sending me pictures and TikToks of Ryback's tweets and him making out with Shrek and all of the dumb shit that this man says. One thing that he said was, if CM Punk returns, he will retire. And then immediately backtracked and said, I was saying if he returned to AEW that I would retire, blah, 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 blah. And then said that if he ever comes back, to quote him, his pop will be way bigger than Fragile Phil's and he won't even have to do it in his own hometown. And honestly, I don't know at this point if this is just like a gimmick that this guy is doing or if he's really that delusional. And I feel like I've been saying that for a while.
He's 1000% that delusional. The only social media app that I'm not blocked by Ryback yet on is TikTok. And no free shout outs. It's gotten to the point now where Al has a running segment where we talk about the delusional shit that this man says week to week because he's saying it that often at this point. Nobody takes him seriously as a pro wrestler or as a figurehead
Human
in any
being.
way in pro wrestling. But today he talked about how he's getting millions of interaction and engagements on Twitter and stuff. And if you go look at his page, that stuff is open. You can view the analytics, right? Like you can see the estimated views, 36.6K or whatever. And he's talking about millions, and you can blatantly see that he's just full of shit. I'm hoping that for his sake, he's not actually this delusional and it is just to work, just for the engagement money.
I knew because there were a lot of people that said a lot. Oh, CM Punk's not coming back if this happens. Blah blah blah. I'll do this. I'll do that. I'll shut down my Twitter. I'll. What did you say you were going to do?
I bet Kyle. I said that CM Punk, and I did last night. I'll tell you. I'll say it right here on air for you.
Was it the one chip challenge?
One chip challenge. Yeah, I said last night. CM Punk's good for business. He's going to put an ass every 12 inches. You know, he can work, he can talk. I'm not saying anything negatively about Punk the wrestler. So I'll give you that. He's good for the wrestling business. I think Ryback's absolutely batshit crazy, but I bet I'm going to go on Kyle's show maybe Thursday if I can find it locally to eat a one chip challenge because I didn't think Punk would show up before the Raw after Mania, and he got me on the first pay-per-view after we made the bet.
Mm-hmm. Just like that.
That quick. The bet was 2 weeks old, and he hit on the first pay-per-view.
Yeah. So, like I said, there's plenty of stuff out there for you guys to, whether you're a Punk hater and you want to feed into the hate, or whether you're a fan and you just kind of want to enjoy this awesome moment, like I would like to, despite most of the people I know being very negative about it. There's plenty of stuff out there. I needed to touch on Ryback because Ryback is a complete and total fucking idiot. And Will constantly sends me this stuff. So then I see it. And then, yeah. So just a little touch on Ryback there and how delusional and insane this man is. Do I want to do that or do I want to do the other thing? I think I'll save that. I like having like two things in the title and doing one before and one after ads. So let's talk Star Wars. Taika Waititi wants his Star Wars film to recapture the joy of the original trilogy, A New Hope, which I feel like everyone that makes a Star Wars movie is hoping to, capture that original trilogy, and we'll see if Taika can do it. He wants his upcoming Star Wars movie to recapture the joy of the original trilogy films. Discussing the project on the Kelly Clarkson Show. By the way, this is from IGN.com's Ryan Dinsdale. The Thor Ragnarok director reiterated past comments that he wants to take his time with the film, but perhaps offered some hints as to its tone. With Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, and Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, seemingly acting as inspiration. I've been developing the Star Wars film for a few years, but I think with any film, but that one in particular, it's something I'd really like to get right, so I don't want to rush it. It's going to bubble along on the side. I want to capture that joy and entertainment of those early ones like The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi and all those ones. So I'm trying to figure that out. It'll happen. Excuse me. The film won't be releasing anytime soon, of course. And Waititi said earlier in November 2023, he thinks it won't be until after the 4 projects he's currently working on. He also said he won't be directing another Thor film due to these current projects requiring 6 or 7 years, and as Star Wars will likely come after those. It might not hit cinemas until around 2030. Jesus Christ. Fans have grown concerned over the state of the film as, like Rian Johnson's trilogy of Star Wars films, years have passed since its announcement without Lucasfilm showing much progression. Waititi's project was revealed in May 2020, but outside of the occasional comment from the writer and director himself or Lucasfilm's president, Kathleen Kennedy, has remained out of the limelight. Now it seems that could be the case for several more years at least. Waititi said in April 2023 that he is still working away on the film, but as of June 2023, it's missing a middle, despite him claiming the story was finished 2 years prior. The Star Wars schedule is otherwise full of holes, with some, like Marvel studio boss Kevin Feige's project, being canceled after years of similarly receiving few updates. The three most likely films to actually come out next were announced at Star Wars Celebration 2023, though still lack actual release dates and titles. One comes from The Mandalorian and Ahsoka's Dave Filoni and will likely wrap up the stories which began in those Star Wars TV shows, while another from Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny director James Mangold looks to tell the story of the beginning of the Force. Finally, sequel trilogy star Daisy Ridley is set to return as Rey Skywalker in a movie directed by Shareem Obaid-Chinoy, taking place 15 years after Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of the Skywalker. Any of that tickle your fancy? What's up, Nick?
I just came to the realization that you said they weren't expected to be on screens until 2030. And then I thought
just
about
Taika Waititi's, just
Okay.
his movie. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because then I also thought about the fact that that's only 6 years away. That's not
Only?
really. That's yeah.
Yeah, I read that and I was like, holy shit, I got to wait another 6-7 years for a Star Wars movie?
Well, to me, I guess mine was like that whole big, I was born in 1985. That seems like forever ago now. You know what I mean? Versus
Thanks.
like 6 years. I don't know. It didn't seem like that far now. 6 years to me doesn't seem like that long a time. But this is how I feel about Star Wars, and I will die on this hill. I don't care if it takes you 50 years to make the movie. If you can deliver on giving me that feeling that A New Hope delivers the first time you see it as a Star Wars fan, then I'll wait. And that's
Okay.
just pure and simple. Like, zero problems with it. We've waited this long for GTA 6. CM Punk's came back to wrestling twice since we got GTA 5, and we still don't have GTA 6.
I don't know. It was announced in 2020, so we're looking at like 10 years to make this movie. He's got a shit ton of other projects to make and go through, none of which are even Thor. But there are other stuff that was announced that I'm kind of interested in to see, including seeing Rey again 15 years after Rise of the Skywalker and all of that. So we'll see what they give us and what they come up with. I feel like both Disney was really rolling with the Marvel Star Wars stuff, and then all of a sudden, I don't know if it was post-pandemic or what, but that train that was doing so well just slowly kind of started to fall off the tracks one by one. Like, there's been a lot of talk about Marvel and how Marvel doesn't feel like Marvel did, and me and a lot of people think it's because they didn't give us an Avengers movie to kind of bring everyone together and give us a reason to care. We've had an Avengers movie by now in every phase except for these last couple. So we'll see where it goes. I'm interested. I love that you're like, oh, it's only 6 years away, and I'm like, fuck, another 6 years.
I think that this is one of those quality over quantity things. We know we're going to get Star Wars content. It might not be the next major trilogy or anything yet, but I have a feeling they'll give us plenty to chew on.
Okay, that's fair. You know what time it is, Will?
What time is it?
Why is Spitter Swallow in here and Smasher Pass? Who did that? Anyway, it is time to talk patreon.com/Creatia World. Now, ladies and gentlemen, patreon.com/Creatia World is the best place for you to support us. You go there. We have a bunch of different tiers for you. The $1 tier gets you 3 exclusive podcasts you can only find on Patreon. Return to Wrestling, where Travis and I talk old school WCW. Chronologically, we started with the very first Nitro, and we have worked our way all the way up to Spring Stampede 1998. And it is the end of the month, which means if you subscribe now, you'll be getting a new one next month with that subscription. Plus, you can go back and watch everything that you haven't seen us do already. Maybe there's some favorite pay-per-views in there. You want to hear us talk about the build to and that pay-per-view and our thoughts. Maybe you just hate Hulk Hogan. If that's the case, any episode that you listen to, you will hear me shit on Hulk Hogan profusely. You also get Multiverse with Travis and Mara, where they talk DC animated films. And again, that is one that has an entire back catalog of all the stuff that they have done. And all you got to do is go in and be like, oh, what's this movie? Check that out, hear them review it. Maybe go watch it beforehand or see if you like what they say and check it out after. It's something that you can pick up anywhere. And last but not least, there's only one episode because we just recorded the first episode. There will be another one next month. It is If You Have to Ask with me and my wife, Kate, where we do Am I the Assholes? Have you and Allison sat down and watched that episode yet, Will?
No, we haven't because of the weekend shenanigans. We're bad friends.
I thought you loved me.
I do love you very much, Mateo. You know that.
Well, I've got reviews from Katie and the broadcast, so go check that out. Hear my wife talk about maybe giving strippers hand jobs and people not wearing underwear at weddings, stuff like that. All of that is available for your enjoyment, as well as us reading Am I the Asshole posts and giving our critique and a little bit of insight into our lives and our past as well. And all that's for $1. Now, everything at that $1 tier is available as you work your way up, including a tier that you're going to have to go to patreon.com/creationworld and find out for yourself, where you can watch this show ad-free. All of our shows ad-free, no ads. But if you're watching us live and you're supporting us live, we appreciate it. And as I've been saying, and I will keep saying until it's over, with the holiday season coming up, we have a bunch of sponsors that have some great shit for you, whether you're going to be up all night wrapping paper, whether you have a furry friend that you want to get something special for Christmas, or a lover, or maybe just yourself that you want to treat to something special and sexy for Christmas. We've got something for everyone. And Travis is here to tell you all about it.
Spice things up in the bedroom, then it's time to check out Adam and Eve. Because you see, Adam and Eve is the leading adult toy store that offers a wide range of products to help you explore your sexual desires. Whether you're looking for something to use solo or with a partner, they have everything you need to satisfy your cravings. From vibrators to lingerie, bondage gear to lubricants, AdamandEve.com has it all. And the best part, you can shop with confidence, knowing that all their products are of high quality and backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. That means whether you bought a dildo, sex swing, penis ring, vibrator, anal sex toy, bondage toy, couples toy, lube, or accessory, you can get a refund within 90 days if you're not 100% satisfied. No questions asked. And right now, as a special offer to our listeners, Adam and Eve is giving you 50% off almost any item on their website. That's right, 50% off. And if you act now, you'll also get free shipping. So go to adamandeve.creationworld.com and use the offer code erotica at checkout. That's erotica at adamandeve.creationworld.com for 50% off almost any item and free shipping. Don't wait. This offer won't last very long. The link is in the description. Attention dog lovers. Are you looking for high quality products to spoil your furry friend? Then you need to check out dog.com. Because you see, dog.com is the go-to online store for all your dog-related needs. They offer a huge selection of dog food, treats, beds, and more. Plus, they have products for all types of dogs, from puppies to seniors and everything in between. And the best part, you can shop with confidence knowing that all their products are made with your dog's health and happiness in mind. Dog.com only stocks top-rated brands that you can trust, so you can rest easy knowing your dog is getting the best. And right now, as a special offer to our listeners, Dog.com is doing a big warehouse clearance sale. And all you have to do is go to dog.creationworld.com and you can get up to 80% off on all sorts of items like toys, treats, bones, harnesses, bowls, leashes, and anything else you can think of. So go to dog.creationworld.com and take advantage of this sale right now. Spoil your furry friend with the best products from dog.creationworld.com today. Link is in the description. Are you tired of feeling sluggish and unfocused throughout the day? Then it's time to try Dubby, the ultimate energy source. Dubby is a powerful, clean energy drink that is designed to help you stay alert and focused no matter what life throws your way. Whether you're a student, a busy professional, an athlete, or especially a gamer, Dubby can give you the boost you need to take on the day or the night. It also contains important aminos and vitamins that canned energy drinks simply don't have. And the best part, W is made with high quality ingredients and is completely sugar free, maltodextrin free, and is keto friendly. So you can enjoy the energy boost without any of the crash jitters or angst that comes with traditional energy drinks. Simply mix W with water and you'll have a delicious, refreshing energy drink that can help you power through your entire day. And with a variety of flavors to choose from, including Galaxy Grenade, Beach and Peach, and Dragonade, you're sure to find one that you love. So go to w.creationworld.com and order your W today. And for a limited time, use code Creatia at checkout to get 10% off your order. That's Creatia at w.creationworld.com for 10% off. Try W today and feel the difference. The link is in the description.
And we're back. How do I? So Spider-Man's been huge, right? Huge. Like Spider-Man 2 came out, it game of the award nominations, all sorts of stuff. I was excited just because they put Tony Todd in as the voice of Venom, and I've seen things where like they only use 10% of the lines that they recorded for Venom with Tony Todd, stuff like that. However, one thing I did not know is that apparently some of the people behind Spider-Man, including a writer for Spider-Man, confirms that there is a new Dragon Ball Z Easter egg when relates to Spider-Man. So this is coming from comicbook.com's Megan Peters. Just when you think Miles Morales couldn't get any cooler, he does. Time and time again, the Spider-Man icon has proven himself to fans across the board, from comics to film. Miles Morales does it all. And now one of the hero's writers has revealed the character's low-key Dragon Ball Z Easter egg. The update comes from social media as Cody Ziegler, not Dolph, but Cody, was sent a question by fans. It was there a fan asked after Miles Morales Venom Saber. It was there a fan asked after Miles Venom Saber, and the writer of Miles Morales Spider-Man had the following to say about the impressive technique. None of that is true. I gave Miles the Venom Saber because I thought it would be cool, and as an homage to Vegito and Kuwabara, the writer said, nodding to Dragon Ball Z and Yu Yu Hakusho. The only thing my editor has ever suggested in relation to Miles' powers was given his sword's powers a name, and I called it Venom Saber as an homage to Gundam's Beam Saber. So there you have it. Miles Morales gets all his best ideas from shonen anime like Dragon Ball. In the past, Miles stirred chatter online as one of his attacks in PlayStation Spider-Man game looked like Goku's Kamehameha. Thanks to this latest comment from Ziegler, we wouldn't be surprised if Miles channels more anime as his superhero career expands. So if we might make a suggestion, Vegeta has some perfect moves that are ripe for the picking, which I agree with because I love fucking Vegeta. Fuck Goku.
I also am a Vegeta guy.
Right? I feel like adults are Vegeta guys and children are Goku guys. Like, once you get older, like you respect Vegeta more. You see the difference, you know?
Agreed.
And thankfully, Dragon Ball seems like it will be bringing out even more content for Miles to binge. For anime fans, they are resting easy knowing Toei Animation has a new show in the works. Back in October, Dragon Ball Daima was announced, and the canon series will explore Goku's journey after he and his gang are turned into young kids by a rogue wish. That sounds a lot like GT. As for Dragon Ball Super, well, the series is an ongoing, even though its anime is over. The hit manga is about to wrap its adaptation of superhero arc, and readers are hoping to hear more about Dragon Ball Super's next arc, Jump Festa, next month. What do you think about this Dragon Ball reference? Let us know. Blah, blah, blah. I love when two things that I enjoy come together. Now, again, I'm not the biggest Spider-Man fan. I will say I respect Miles Morales more than Peter Parker. I think I'm just not a Peter Parker fan. Miles is cool as shit. So seeing Dragon Ball Z, Yu Yu Hakusho, stuff to Gundam, all homaged in what they're writing and creating for Miles Morales, and then also having some of that in the video games is playable. It's really cool shit.
I love a good crossover. Dragon Ball is also my first anime. So it's always going to have a special place in my heart. So it doesn't surprise me that powerhouses like Dragon Ball and Spider-Man would cross over, especially with the written crossover in the universes of Miles being an anime fan and stuff like that. So it makes sense. I'm here for it. I like it.
I agree. Uh, let's check out this. I honestly have no idea what this even is. So, gotta do that part there, and then go back and boom. Oh, Travis and Mara will definitely be covering this.
That you live in a reality parallel to many versions of your universe. I've gathered you all to save your world.
Is it as bad as it looks?
Yes. You're needed, Kara.
Something's about to happen. Something major. The universe. It's all vanishing.
All right. So that, from according to the trailer, is actually going to be a trilogy. Crisis on Infinite Earths. Obviously, if you're a DC comic book fan, you've either read the comics. If you're like me and you watched, they did the arc in the CW shows as well. A very interesting story. And like I said, with us having multiverse, I guarantee Travis and Marl will check it out. And the DC animated films are, and I wouldn't even say arguably, always better than the live action films. So like, this should be some good shit.
I love a good cartoon movie, especially when it's done well. So I can get behind this. And I agree 1,000% that DC's animated stuff has been leaps and bounds above Marvel on that side. And I've always said that this may be a tortoise and a hare situation where Marvel got really far ahead early because of the Avengers and stuff. And now that they're kind of stuttering a little bit, this is DC's chance to put out some really killer content and start making some ground up on Marvel. And that's coming from a Marvel guy.
I actually watched Blue Beetle the other day because it's on Max now, and I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
I'm hearing nothing but good stuff about the DC universe coming out. And again, like, this is their opportunity. Jason, the gun, what's his name? James
Gunn.
James Gunn. He was saying today that like he wants to start getting people to look for the creative directors behind the projects. Don't come to me. Talk to the people who are running the creatives, because those are the brains of the guys who are going to put the great movies out. And I like the way he's building like the infrastructure of the DCU from what I've read. So I'm going to start, putting a little bit more keen eye on what they're doing now. So this is cool.
All right. Speaking of live action animated comic, amalgamations, like starts in comics, they did a live action. Now they're doing an animated. Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. We've watched trailers for it. It's on Netflix. This is actually kind of surprising to me. So this is from Nick Valdez over at comicbook.com. Scott Pilgrim Takes Off is not gunning for a season 2. Scott Pilgrim Takes Off premiered around the world on Netflix earlier this month, and the creators behind it revealed they aren't really gunning for a potential season 2, as they crafted the series as a self-contained experience. Generally, you expect the opposite. They want it to do well, and if it does well, they want to make more seasons. It's rare that you see them be like, no, we made this thing, we put it out, we're happy with it, and we don't really want to have to make more of it. Like that seems kind of weird, right?
Yeah, especially in a where you're here to make money, like a business. It seems weird that you wouldn't want to continue having a successful business. Yes, that's weird.
Scott Pilgrim Takes Off really took off with fans on Netflix, as it ended up being much different kind of story than fans had ever expected to see. The end of the season seemed to put a bow on the story that Scott Pilgrim's new anime was building towards, even felt like a bow on the comics and movie versions of the franchise as well. Now I'm gonna have to go watch this. I haven't had a chance. I'm gonna need to sit down and check it out. Scott Pilgrim Takes Off might have had a post-credit scene that teased there could be more on the horizon, and fans might be hoping to see more from the anime themselves. But series creator Brian Lee O'Malley and series writer Ben David Grabinski explained to Rolling Stones that they really put it all into this slate of episodes with the idea of making a self-contained story that could stand on its own with Netflix without a need for a second season at the moment. And then it just kind of quotes them basically saying the same thing. We're not working on it. We have no official ideas. We put everything we had into this, and we think that it's really great ending that we're proud of. I don't make any plans in general. Maybe someday one of us will text the other an idea that's really great for season 2. But for now, my entire brain and heart is in this thing, and it's just getting it out into the world. So if you guys enjoyed Scott Pilgrim season 2, or Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, don't expect a season 2, at least not anytime soon.
I remember the original Scott Pilgrim movie, but I never got anything after the first one. That was with Michael Cera, right?
Yeah, that was with Michael Cera and Brie Larson and Captain America and
Yeah. I remember it coming out when I was younger, and I was like, "This is cool," but I never really got into the spin-offs and stuff. So maybe I'll check it out. It sounds interesting.
well, it's a comic that they made into a live action, and now they're just kind of retelling that story, but they have all the voice actors from the movie
Nice.
doing the voices of the anime. So like I said, Brie and Chris and Michael Cera and the Culkin, like all of them are voicing their characters. So Aubrey Plaza and there's actually a lot of fucking famous people in that movie.
I love Aubrey Plaza.
Right? It's just something about her. Just something about that face. You were on Wednesday, correct?
I believe so.
Okay. Did you guys talk at all about Scream 7 and the stuff going on with Scream 7?
No, I take that back. I was not on Wednesday. I was on Tuesday last week. I was only on one day last week. It wasn't Wednesday.
Yeah, because we only did 3 days. So
Yeah.
you were on with or were you supposed to be on and then something happened and you couldn't make it? Were you even on last week?
That's right. That was Monday. I wasn't on last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was me and Bridget, then Bridget and me, but Travis filled in, and I think Bridget and Travis. So I don't know if I'm not 100% sure if they talked about it, but you and I are going to talk about this. So as a big fan of Scream 6 and Scream 5 and everything they've been doing, from what I've read, Melissa Barrera tweeting out about looking for a ceasefire and some other things about the conflict over in Palestine. They have dubbed her comments, which everything I've said I wouldn't consider anti-Semitic, but anti-Semitic, and have dropped her from Scream 7. Also, Jenna Ortega is not returning due to scheduling conflicts with the Wednesday over at Netflix season 2. So we've lost pretty much the main 2 characters in this trilogy that is focused on. And in my opinion, just drop Scream 7 at that point. But it looks like they're trying to recircle and focus and bringing in Nev Campbell and Patrick Dempsey and some other things. I don't necessarily know that I want to see another Scream without those 2 actresses in it. I'm not going to lie to you.
With us not having Nev in 6, do you think bringing her back will supplement the absence of those 2 characters if they write it in, though? If they can write it in to make it make sense.
Nev wasn't in 6 because the studio didn't think Nev Campbell was worth the money Nev Campbell was fucking. So like them bringing her back, especially now, almost feels like a desperate oops move. And like they better pay her to the fucking hilt if they do. So like I'm already kind of against the studio for doing that in the first place. But also doing this as like a break glass in case of emergency sort of thing because they lost the two of the main characters, because the core force exists, but 2 of the main characters, probably the 2 that the franchise is now focused around. The decision making going on, I am not a fan of. Now, if Jenna Ortega really isn't coming back because of scheduling conflicts and you can't schedule to make it work for her for whatever reason, okay, fine. I don't really see Scream 7 because like it's trilogies, right? Like we did 1 through 3, 4 was kind of its own thing. Now it was going to be 5, 6, 7, and this is kind of the direction we were going. And I was really enjoying what they were doing. Now I'm like, I don't like something I was so excited for. Now I'm like, I don't even know if I'm going to want to watch this. And it's not because I don't want to support Nev Campbell in the role or anything like that. It's just a lot of what the studio is doing is kind of turning me off to the franchise in and of itself.
I can't believe I'm going to say this of all people about something that's movie 7 in a series, because a lot of time, I'll have some witty joke to say about a series. It's that long. I do it Fast and Furious. I do it with Saw. I think with Scream, this is very, very a la pro wrestling. We need to let it breathe and just kind of wait for it, because with them bringing Nev back and with them bringing in some of the other, Patrick Dempsey's and stuff like that, that will add to the cast. It's like a football team, like if you lose a star quarterback, you can replace him with a good quarterback and then a really great wide receiver and almost fill that gap. So losing 2 people, but adding 2 people of equal star value, it might not be a bad move, and with the scheduling issues with Jenna, I don't see why they couldn't just wait. You know what I mean? There's no rush. They don't have to put the movie out now. They could wait and let it schedule and film when they could to get her shots in. But what do I know?
True. Well, we'll see how this all plays out. This has all been developing over the last week or so, and news has been dropping left and right. So we'll see what happens. I think no other way for you and I to end a show would be than to watch a trailer for Boy Swallows Universe.
What? I'm intrigued. Hella intrigued.
May I Bell? I got a story.
What kind of story?
It's a crime story.
The boys have experienced a lot of trauma over the years. Their mother's addiction, her leaving their father.
Oh, fuck.
Just like every southern summer.
And the criminal activity of their stepdad.
It's all right, sir. My stepdad's just making a drug deal. She's too good for the sheepos.
Don't look respectable. It's got a lot going for it. The money is for your family. He's doing this because he loves you.
Things are gonna get so good, you'll forget they were ever there.
Get him out of here.
Sorry.
Eli.
He did bad things, didn't he?
We all do bad things sometimes.
Uh-oh.
Only you wanted to be a good person.
This is a test.
I'm gonna find him and get the cash to move Mum away from here.
What if they lock you up?
Well, they'll have to catch me first.
You have strength in you, boy.
The conflict between these gangs is coming to a head.
Get those kids, or else I'll have to do it for you.
It's a wide open road. It's a wide open road.
Stronger than that. All you have to do is believe. You could use someone to watch your back.
You know what I could use? Someone talks a little less.
I was just wondering if you were going bald before you became a skinhead, or if that happened afterwards.
Thoughts?
That looks amazing.
Right?
I don't know, have you ever, this is going to sound crazy. Have you ever read the book I Am the Cheese?
I have not read the book I Am the Cheese.
It's about a kid who wakes up every day and he goes on these really long adventures and he rides around his county and he interacts with all these different people and he meets them. And then at the end of the book, you realize that he's like a 26-year-old man in an insane asylum riding a bike around a courtyard, meeting the same insane people and nurses and doctors the entire time. I don't know why I got the same vibe from that movie, with that kid being the focal point and all the different characters he met, and the scene where he's falling through and he's in a medical gown multiple times throughout the trailer. Like,
True.
I don't know why I thought I Am the Cheese when I saw that movie, but it was very reminiscent of that story. Like this kid trying to help his mom and meeting all these people in order to save his mom and stuff. So it might be completely unrelated, but it's a cool book. And that looks like a fucking cool movie. So I'm going to watch it.
You know, I am very interested. There was a lot going on in that trailer. A lot. And I honestly, listening to you describe it, I can kind of see the parallels because why was he in a hospital gown in so much of that trailer? What's going on? So I I'm not I read more now than I ever have in my life, thanks to my wife. Growing up, like I was very much I'll read something if I have to for school and shit, but like it always felt like a chore. So I never wanted to read. And then come into adulthood, got into like Stephen King's It because you talked about how Chucky was, Child's Play was that franchise that you have no interest in. See, that was that franchise for me. However, I kind of embraced it and really got into it to kind of dispel that fear I had from my childhood. So between reading that and a lot of the romantic gang stories that my wife, the gang romance books that take place here in Chicago that my wife's got me reading and stuff like that. Basically smut. Yeah. I've been reading more than ever, but a lot of that stuff I didn't growing up. So I hear people, oh, did you read this book? Oh, this is based on a novel, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I love that novel. And it's like, oh, I don't fucking read, but it looks good. So I'm going to check it out.
I might be completely out of left field too, but that for some reason, that's where my brain went, was that story, which is cool. I'm still going to watch the movie. It looks awesome.
Then you'll have to let us know if it fell in line with what you thought it was going to. Will, it's always an easy hour. Thank you for joining me. Please tell everyone where they can find Rivet City Radio, Botch Spots and Chair Shots, and everything you guys have going on.
This is the perfect way to start my Monday. I just have to say thank you. Thank you to you and thank you to Travis for allowing this to be the way my psychotic ass starts my week, because it's always fun. If you're interested in my shenanigans elsewhere, though, you can check my link tree at the Will Gray. You'll find all of my shenanigans for Botch Spots and Chair Shots, Rivet City Radio, Off the Top Media, and Creatia World.
And as always, you guys can follow me on Twitter at Matt Ritter, MATTRDDR, or at Getting Off Matt Ritter for your wrestling content, Getting Off for your horror movie content. I talked about it. There is an episode of Getting Off from last Sunday, not this past Sunday, but the one before it, available now, where we sat down and we watched old school horror trailers and smashed or past them while I struggled to get my audio working. It actually, I listened back, it turned out to be a fun one. And I think I'm going to take that episode and take the episodes that we smashed, and then we'll do an episode where we review the movies that we smashed based on the trailer that these guys haven't seen. So that'll be a thing coming in the future. But we do have Getting Off coming up this Sunday, where we review X and Pearl. So come check that out with us. Get our thoughts on that. It's something we want to do for a while, and we're finally going to be able to make it happen. So that'll be a fun one. Also, you guys can follow me on all social media, everywhere else, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Blue Sky, all that at Smacking It Raw. That'll get you a little bit of everything. We did a new episode of Smacking It Raw last night featuring me and Katie breaking down. Vince kept trying to show up, but just couldn't make it work. Survivor Series, the return of CM Punk, Randy Orton, R-Truth, Danhausen. We talked AEW. We talked the week in wrestling, did our regular spits and swallows. It's all there for you to enjoy. So please go check that out. And check out everything Creatia World at creatiaworld.com, which is now back live and available. You can go there and it'll get you everything you need. But if you want to follow us on socials, it is Instagram, TikTok, and X, Twitter, at It's Creatia World, ITSCREATIA World. For a chef by trade, a mark by choice, the Will Gray, I am the patron saint of podcasting, the warden Matt Ritter. This has been your #1 news source for all that nerdish on Pornhub.